Hey, friends. Ah, precious. That is precious. And precious is the word of the day. What is the word of the day? Someone has to write precious with an exclamation mark. The word of the day is precious, and we're going to get into that. Let's begin. I have to button up, apparently. Do I? Let's begin with good posture. Eyes open. Take your best posture of the day, your Wonder Woman, your Superman posture. And with respect and friendliness to everybody here and everybody in the whole world, without exception, let's give it away with a bow. So thank you. Yay, Rachel said precious. So why is precious the word of the day? We're going to get into that. And when I get there, the first person to yell precious gets a virtual hug from all of us. Okay, or to yell it in real life and scare their pets. Okay, so as some of you know, yesterday was my 39th birthday. For the 7th year in a row, I celebrated 39. That's a Jack Benny thing. Precious, thank you. And I wrote, I don't know if any of you read my editor's letter about my birthday, but, and this is about your birthday. This is about aging. This is about birthdays, being alive. This is not about me. Thank you. I love birthdays. It was super fun. But I wrote an article that basically said at 46, you no longer can have any, I'm 46. At 46, you can no longer have any illusion that you have more than 50% of your life to live. There's a chance I could live to 100 perhaps. If I start jogging a lot and just eating rice and beans and flossing more often. But odds are pretty good that I have lived more than 50% of my life now. So there's the article. So in that article, and I just want to read you one little snippet, and if you're inspired to read it, it always helps Elephant, every single article you ever read or share. Super helpful. The next 46 years, I'll be grateful for everyone, though they seem to fly by more quickly and quietly with every revolution of a season. Knowing no year, no minute is guaranteed, I'll continue to work to slow down and fulfill my presence in this ephemeral moment. So I'll seek to serve to be of benefit. So now I'm closing that blog. Goodbye, birthday blog. So if you feel like reading that, please do. If you feel like commenting, please do, but no need, only if you're so inspired. I just read you that little bit because I think that applies to all of us. Who here, is anyone else, there's my auntie Liz. Does anyone else feel that quality? The longer we're alive, the days, the weeks, the years seem to flow by faster and more subtly. Like we have to practice gratitude. We have to practice intentional appreciation. I have a little ritual that I made up for myself. And if I'm dating, I'll do that with the person I'm dating with. Where at the end of every day, or the end of most days, when I remember, I'll say, what did I do today? And I'll go through my entire day. And it's actually quite hard to remember what I did that entire day, especially the mornings and how everything fits together. And maybe some of you have far better memories than me. But there's a quality, irrespective of memory, there's a quality of appreciation when we look back at our day, when we reflect on what we did that day, without any kind of overlay of morality. We just say, well, I woke up and I read the New York Times and I shared some articles to Instagram. There was a really powerful one about federal agents in Portland just abducting people in unmarked vans, and it just doesn't seem like a democracy. That kind of had effect on me. Then I worked and helped out with Kelly, who's doing shipping in my house now because we don't have an office. Anyway, I could go through the whole thing. I talked with RC, who's here working on my attic, and made sure we had windows open so that was safe, and masks. And My friend Michelle is here in Redford. She's taking him for a walk, I think, right now. Anyway, or soon. So just reflecting on what you do in that day, good and bad, happy and sad, gives you a sense of, okay, I'm not, so like the William Blake poem, we mentioned that the other day, kiss the joy as it flies. So we can't hold on to life. And so today's talk is going to be about death. Today's talk is going to be about life. Today's talk is going to be conversation. It's not a lecture. Today's conversation is going to be about the Buddhist Four Reminders. So in this first half hour, we're going to talk about 4 different blogs that all connect with how to appreciate life fully. Some people call that carpe diem. How to celebrate and fulfill every moment of your life fully, without some sense of intensity, with a sense instead of relaxation, of actually just being natural, of showing up fully. Yeah, someone could find that William Blake poem, perhaps. So how do we live life fully? That's what today is about. And death is a part of that. But we view death as a bummer. And that's just a weird thing. I mean, it is a bummer. It's very sad to let go of things you love, whether you're moving away from a city or breaking up with someone. It's sad to let go, but it's also the fact that death is there enables us to appreciate every day and not just take it for granted. If we lived forever, there would be some sense of like, if we were invincible, there would be some sense of just kind of smashing around the universe, kind of like Mark Zuckerberg says, move fast and break things, something like that. So instead, we could have a sense of tenderness, of vulnerability, of realizing the privilege and the preciousness of every single day. Preciousness, ding, ding, ding. And we can actually be kind to one another. Today, it was announced, I guess a couple days ago, it was announced by our governor, who has been a friend off and on for many years, of Colorado. He announced that mask wearing was mandatory indoors. And some of the comments are literally saying, your life is not my responsibility. That's crazy that anyone would feel like that, even on a social media comment. Your life is precious. Your life is important. Every single life is. That's why liberals are always yelling about kids in cages. And if Obama did that too, to a lesser extent, and Bush did that too, to a lesser extent, and there were differences there, that also matters. We need to care about every single life. And, you know, the other day, some lady on Facebook was saying, prairie dogs don't matter, kill them all. We need to build more apartments for human beings. And yeah, sure, that's true. We need to build more homes, affordable homes for human beings. But prairie dogs matter to the animals that eat them, to the ecosystem, to the ground, to each other, to their families. Did you know that prairie dogs they build different little burrows. They dig out little burrows. They have one for going to the bathroom. To me, that's the cutest thing ever. They have a bathroom. They build a little bathroom. Then they have a nursery just for the children. Then they have a food storage room. Then they have bedrooms. I mean, the more you learn about anything, and this may feel like it's all over the place, and perhaps it is, but the more you learn about anything or anyone, the more you care, if you're at all open. And that's a wonderful thing. Caring makes us feel exposed, it's scary, but it also makes life full and precious. Yesterday, I called my auntie, who's on this call, and it was so sweet to hear her charming voice and her care, and it was just very touching. Why is that? Because we care about one another. We can, however, care not just about our family members or our loved ones. We can care about our other, you know. I think that's one of my problems with many people in America is we other a lot of people. We say immigrants, I don't need to care about you. You know, whole classes of people, I don't need to care about you. And I don't think that is inherently part of conservative or liberal ideology. We need to, I just talked about Portland, Christine. We need to try to care about everyone. And that's the Tonglen practice. That's how we practice that. And we've done that video. Maybe we have a link to that video. But you can always get all the old videos, like the conversation with Jane Elliott or Cory Booker, or the Tonglen instruction. Emily can say how you can get those. But I think you can just search on elephant. There's guided Tonglen. Well, I want to do the one from our retreat. Now we call it, so for those of you who are new or haven't been here for a bit, we did a retreat, a weekly retreat during the quarantine period. Then we had a soft opening for the US and for much of the world, and we renamed the retreats gatherings. So they're no longer this sort of weekly retreat. And we're thinking of moving them from Fridays because now people are working again. So I hope that's okay with all of you. We're going to move them from Fridays. So now they're called gatherings, elephantjournal.com/gathering if you want to invite anyone into this one or any one of them. And the good news and the bad news is we are only going to do these meetings that are free for as long as people show up. So, you know, we have 8,567 of you are here now. We have 150 of you, 200 of you in Facebook. You know, that's cool. At the end of when we hang up on Facebook, that'll be like 10,000 people will have watched. This isn't about numbers, but this is about we are trying to offer something hopeful every single week. We'll probably move it to a weekday evening or a weekend. But we only want to offer it if it's useful and if people show up. We had thousands of people show up in the beginning. I feel like now it's kind of, you know, we take for granted everything. And that kind of comes back to talking about how life is precious. Ding, ding, ding. So to bring it back to our subject, I guess to conclude that one, if you can invite anyone in, if you can show up, we will keep doing this. If you don't, and you won't, we won't. Because we don't view you as customers. We don't view you as numbers. We view this as a service that we can do for one another, with one another. And if you have any questions, please put it in Ask a Question. Sidebar is good, but sometimes I miss that. So let's keep talking about kind of carpe diem, death, and life. So there's a blog, How to Celebrate One's Birthday in the Buddhist Tradition. This blog is one of my favorites on Elephant, and I actually think I got Emily beat there. With the link's in the sidebar if you're in Crowdcast. So how to celebrate one's birthday in the Buddhist tradition. A lot of us have issues with birthdays, right? Does any of you feel uncomfortable when everyone's staring at you singing happy birthday? Does any of you feel uncomfortable celebrating your party, throwing a big party for yourself? Do any of you feel uncomfortable getting presents, having attention, running around with all your friends, not having enough time for anybody? Rachel, thank you. Birthdays can feel a little bit selfish, right? Birthdays can feel a little bit like a me day. And a me day can be special and sweet. It doesn't have to be selfish. But from a Buddhist point of view, a birthday is the time of the year when you do the work. What is the work, you ask? From a Buddhist point of view, Sukriti, Christine, Rachel, Tanya, Diane, not Diane. Diane likes them. I usually like them. Sometimes, yeah, it's your personal holiday. Exactly, Liz, Auntie. So my auntie is still here. We know we're not totally failing. Okay, so the birthday is the one day a year when you do the work. When you do the work of saying, okay, I'm 23 years old, I'm 46 years old, I'm 72 years old. However old or young you are, or I am, you say, how did this year go? What did I do that was of benefit? What did I do that was not of benefit? How can I change? Not from the point of view of I'm bad and I need to be better, but from the point of view of I want to be of benefit. So we all do this bow, right? We've done a class on the bow. Maybe Emily can put that in there. So the bow is such a good symbol for you do that before a meal, after a meal. Do that before a meditation, after meditation. Do that before a business meeting, after a business meeting. But a bow is symbolic of all of life, our whole life's purpose, which is to try to be of benefit. So how was I of benefit this year? How was I not of benefit this year? The notion that we are eating an apple, not just for ourselves, although that's important, my health, la, 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 but for my health, la, 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 so that I can be of benefit. For me, so that I can be of benefit to you and to all sentient beings, which include myself. So it's a virtuous circle. So that's why we begin and end these conversations with a bow, because it's a reminder that this certainly isn't about me. This certainly isn't about you. This is about how can we come together, have some empathy, have some good breaths, learn a little bit, have a sense of community, because so many of us feel isolated in this world that seems quite evil and selfish sometimes, not all of it, but a lot of it. Like those comments on that Instagram post, your life is not my responsibility, from an anti-masker. You're like, oh, come on, you're already where, anyway, we're not going to get into that, but it's not a big thing for me to do, to wear a mask so that you don't get sick, or that, a loved one of yours who might be vulnerable doesn't get sick. So hopefully we're all on board, and it doesn't need to be a political thing. It just needs to be a kind, respectful thing. I went for a long bike ride for my birthday yesterday, and maybe 50% of the people didn't even have a mask. Like, they didn't even have the option. And 50% were either wearing it all the time, or they pulled it up when we passed by. Now, that's my favorite. You keep it off, you run around, you bike, you don't need a mask. But if you see someone approaching, you pull it on. It's a gesture of kindness. It's a gesture of respect. It's a gesture of care. And caring is probably my favorite word in the dictionary. Caring. It's so simple. And it's so joyful to be able, and tender, to be able to care for others, care about things, care about people. It's frustrating to care as well. As anyone who knows me well, I, all day long, am kind of disappointed or angry or upset when I see those poison yellow flags on a lawn, or when I see, the prairie dogs are getting bulldozed down by Celestial Seasonings. Please boycott Celestial Seasonings. They started off as a hippie organization, picking herbs and making teas. Now they're owned by Hain, and they're literally bulldozing down all their prairie dogs. So, that's sad. So it's irritating to feel sad, to care about things. It's irritating to be irritated about violence and about selfishness every day when you walk around. And there's many other things to be irritated about. We have focused on equal rights, on equity, on anti-racism. We have focused on climate change. We have focused on mental health. Elephant covers all of this. So I beg of you, please subscribe to Elephant. Please write on Elephant. Share your story. I am not Elephant. I am not. If I died tomorrow, Elephant would be just as Elephant. And I may die tomorrow. So let's come back to the subject. So the notion that we might die is not morbid, ironically. It's actually life and love giving. So there's a wonderful blog, one of my very favorite, on Elephant, and it's titled Video Death Comes Without Warning. So death comes without warning is the Buddhist notion that our life is a bubble. We feel solid, but who here has been in an accident? Who here has had a sudden, traumatic incident or accident? After that happens, I've been hit by cars on my bike maybe 3 or 4 times. Every single time after that happens, I feel very shaky. For an hour, for a day, for days. I feel very shaky. And there's a sense that my bubble doesn't exist. I realize that I don't actually have a bubble around me. I'm incredibly vulnerable at all times. If a 65 mile, let alone a 25 mile an hour car comes through, I could be dead at any point. So if we live without the illusion that we have this bubble around us, we are blessed with the feeling that we want to appreciate every day, that life is all together now, that life is, she is in the comments, that life is precious. And what does that mean? It doesn't just mean like, life is precious. I need to spend every day of my life eating all the vegan donuts. That sounds pretty good, but it sounds way better too, can we put that Eleanor Roosevelt quote blog in? To, as Eleanor Roosevelt said, she discovered true joy when she discovered service. Let's repeat that all together. For the first time in her life, she grew up thinking she was ugly, being taught that she was ugly, she was miserable. Then she discovered service, and she said, when she discovered service, she discovered true joy, and she never wanted to do anything other than service from then on. She's one of my idols. There she is. So this blog, if you are going to open up one blog today, we're going to share a bunch of good ones. But so, oh my God, there's so many good ones. Please share, please open up that one video, Death Comes Without Warning. Let's put that in the sidebar one more time. That blog has some beautiful, beautiful stuff in there. It has this quote by Chief Lightfoot, I think, if I can remember. I'm not the sharpest tack in the world. Chief Crowfoot, I apologize. It's so beautiful, and it is what life is. And it also talks about the 4 reminders. It has a very powerful scene. We are food for worms, boys. We are food for worms. Make your lives extraordinary. What movie is that from? Anyone who's opened up that blog knows what movie that is from. So that blog might be my favorite on Olive Elephant, other than Reggie Ray's article. So there you go. Life is precious. Our life is just a bubble that can be popped at any moment. And how can we be a benefit? What does being a benefit even mean? We don't need to be philosophical about it. We don't need to be theoretical about it. Who here has done something kind for someone else and you would be willing, seize the day, boys, make your lives extraordinary. Thank you, Renee. So who here has done something kind and would be willing to share about that in the comments? Who here has had something kind done for them in the last few days and would be willing to share that little moment in the comments? Kindness is not theoretical. It's not philosophical. We don't need to quantify it particularly. We can all be kind. And there's little moments all the time. I relayed one where I'm on a bike ride and I see people bothering to pull up their masks when we pass. Yes, we're outside. It's relatively safe, but we're also jogging and biking and breathing really hard. And then, you know, there's some young runners. They don't even have a mask and they're going like little Darth Vaders. Helped a lost dog yesterday. Hearing from me with my auntie. Yeah, that was a highlight of my day. So whenever we do something that means something to someone else, it often means even more to us. Just helping Diane helped distribute food at the food bank. Getting breakfast ready. Exactly. My friend dropped off a lovely, healthy vegan lunch off when I was in the midst of crazy work day, and I would not have stopped to make food. From Kim, mentored a student searching for a job. I give my garlic and onions from my meal kits to neighbors. Love that. Love garlic and onions. And if you don't, we're there for you. So Jan, that's great. So all these little moments help the world go around. All these little moments help the world go around. All these little moments help the world go around. All these little moments add up to make a functioning, beautiful society. I think what Martin Luther King Jr. called, what did he call it? Blessed community. Many people call it that. But blessed community may be a Christian term. I love that. I adopted a 14-year-old Schnauzer who was scheduled to be put down because his owners were moving, not that he's failing. That's so great. My dog just turned 13 yesterday, and can you imagine if someone were just going to kill him because I was no longer able to keep him? That'd be crazy. Every day I have my family check in and listen and support them. I feel it is important to let them know I am a safe space to sort out their heads, especially now, from Rachel. I was given compensation last week, so I spent it all on flowers for my neighbor and had them delivered as a surprise. She's had bad news. I've told no until now. Kat, thank you. That's so beautiful. Let's all give Kat some love to give to the neighbors. I volunteered to be a part of a community group of 7 who got a racially divisive sign on a firehouse change in 2 days. Neutral article in the paper today about the incident and part of a community conversation to open hearts and build bridges. Right, so you didn't even just shout people down. And that's what we often do, right? I have an article about that. Aggression, maybe Emily or Lindsay, you can find it. Aggression feeds aggression. So if we're aggressive because we see a racially divisive sign, then we can create more aggression. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't be actively activists out of love and get that sign changed and stop injustice wherever we see it. But often just aggression on aggression, when we're aggressive, the aggressor, we confirm the idea that the aggressor has of us. Could you see me struggling with that? This is 46. A little bit sleepy. My friends are bringing me lunches because I just had surgery. So there's so many beautiful stories here. Someone needs to compile all these. My boyfriend's, but it's private, I get it. Hate does not drive out hate. Only love will do that. I'm okay. Little free library. Those are the best. Waitress handed me a hamburger. I'm veggie, but I gulped it down. Okay, we'll take it. Kind gentleman who knew my father sent me old photos I never saw before. Wow. I love that, Gail. Them just bothering to do that little thing that didn't matter to them. Why did they do that? But it does matter to them because it makes their day meaningful, their life meaningful. Teach children every weekend when school is out because they can't afford online learning. That's huge right now. My best friend's forever, his 15-year-old daughter was having boy issues and only wanted to talk to me, not her mom or dad. Yeah, sometimes it's easier to talk to not mom or dad. I was biking town for water, stopped for food before an uphill climb to my truck house. Found I only had enough money for toast. It was a 28-mile ride. Susan, what happened? Where's the rest? Oh, waitress hand. Oh, I see. I'm reading it backward. These are great stories. And I think even just reading these stories, does everyone here feel a little bit more wholesome and a little bit more hopeful and a little bit more grounded and a little bit kinder, just having heard these stories from all over our world? I know I do. So we're going to practice the 4 reminders. We're actually going to practice them. We're going to do them together in the camp. So the first section of this is the gathering. That's free. It's every Friday for now. If you go to elephantjournal.com/gathering, some of you are here, but many of you are in Facebook. We are opening this up to Facebook and Instagram, etc. If you go to elephantjournal.com/gathering, you can register and you will get news of when we move these weekly meetings to. elephantjournal.com/gathering. Can someone type that in Facebook? Can someone type that in here? And don't make Emily do everything. She's working for you. She's the one in Crowdcast, but which is our video community platform like Zoom. But then the second half is camp, and camp is paid. It's not free. Camp is what you can do if you've ever done any academy course. You will have an email on how to join camp, and it is free if you've ever done any academy course. If you haven't done any academy course, you can right now go to elephantjournal.com/academy. Can someone write that down in the comments? elephantjournal.com/academy, and you can join any course. We have 3 pre-registration courses open now as of today. Very exciting, genuinely. One is Maitri, how to make friends with yourself, how to care about yourself, how to make friends with the parts of yourself that you hate in and out, or that you're uncomfortable with in and out. Maitri, good stuff, loving kindness. And through Maitri, we can begin to have real, genuine empathy and care for the whole world. Care that isn't vulnerable. Care that isn't, I should say, it is vulnerable. Care that isn't weak. Care that is strong and grounded. Remember, the warrior has a strong back and an open front, not just arrogant, strong front, strong back. It's a strong back and an open, vulnerable front. That's the warrior in the Buddhist tradition. Shugam Trungpa talks about that in Shambhala. So we have the Maitri course. We also now, as of today, we have 2 other courses. One of them is meditation, how to meditate in the Buddhist tradition for anyone. You don't have to be Buddhist. Why to meditate? Why? And when to meditate. So it's how to build an entire meditation routine in your life. Why to, how to, when to, and then there's some other good stuff in there. That is, Emily, what's the other good stuff? There's some other fourth section. I'm forgetting. Meditation for crazy busy people. Oh, how to bring meditation in action. How to put meditation into action. How to inject the meditative mind, which is the present mind, not the like I'm out of it mind, the present mind into your busyness. How to inject space into your busyness so that we can all enjoy our busy work, our busy relationships, our busy childcare, our busy, school, whatever, our busy work, whatever we're doing. Busy work, I said twice appropriately because work is a lot. And then our third course, so we have meditation, we have Maitri, and we have another amazing course that is, Mindful Life 101. It's hard to remember because it's everything. So basically, it's literally everything I've ever learned from the Buddhist tradition, environmental stuff, living a zero-waste lifestyle, and meditation and action kind of practices. Basically, it's called Mindful Life 101 for a reason. It was requested by various people. It's just how to do everything kind of mindfully. This doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I'm an example of that. It's not about how to live a perfect life. It's how to live your best life, which is a phrase I don't like. It's how to live a mindful life. Mindfulness is the practice of messing up and then coming back and doing it again. So it's not about being perfect. It is about enjoying life, caring for others, and being responsible in that life, being sort of the ethical life in a way. And a huge part of ethics, who here feels like a bad person sometimes? Do you ever feel like a bad person? Any of you? You ever feel guilty? You ever feel like a failure? You ever feel heavy? You ever feel put upon or frustrated? Do you ever feel fallible? Do you ever feel like a big F up? Do you ever feel like a disappointment? Do you ever feel like there's almost no point? Do you ever feel like the rest of your life is written for you? Sometimes, yes, all of us do. So that's okay. The mindful life includes that. The mindful life includes the fact that we've all, we're not perfect, we've messed up, and vulnerability, Maitri, is a huge part of that, right? So those are the 3 new courses. Is anyone at all interested or excited about any of those? They're all pre-registration, so you get them now. You'll get free access to the camp right away, and then you'll get the courses when they're completed. We put a lot of time and love into these courses. These are not just like you stamp them and you send them down the assembly line. Anyone excited about these courses? We have tons of material. We're editing tons of material, and we're just going to not waste any of your time. We're going to put in just the kind of exactly what you need, the best stuff. Jan, doing Maitri, cannot wait. Anyone else? It's a lot of work, so I'm kind of hoping to see a couple comments where people are like, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, okay, so that's that. I've explained that, and we have 4 more minutes. I'm going to go through a couple more blogs. We have a blog by Frank Berliner on the 4 reminders. If you are not going to do camp, I encourage you to read that blog because it's free. Is my video being weird? I hope not. And then we have Everybody Gets Old. There's some beautiful, beautiful quotes in there. The Buddha replied, do meritorious, it's the Buddha's advice on aging gracefully. Who here wants to age gracefully? Do meritorious deeds that bring bliss. Make merit while alive. When the world is on fire with aging and death and dying, one should salvage by giving. I love that. When the world is on fire, one should salvage by giving. Woo! That's everybody gets old. It's about aging gracefully. Please read that. Then we have a compilation of 17 or 18 quotes on happy old age and a darling video. If you want super inspiring darling video, get ye into that blog. Oh, you already did it. You're so fast. You're fast. Okay. Anyone else excited about camp? Anyone else excited about all of our academy courses? I'm seeing a lot of sweet comments, so thank you. Okay. And then finally, so you have the Death Without Warning blog. Please check that out. You have the 4 Reminder Buddha, Dharma, Frank Berliner. Okay, Steve Jobs and the 4 Reminders. So this is for those of you who are kind of expressing who you are through work. If you're expressing a lot of who you are and what you care about through work, check out that blog. Steve Jobs, far from perfect dude, to put it mildly, but obviously brilliant. Something to learn from his talk here, and the 4 reminders are also in there. So get to know those 4 reminders, and you can practice them every day. We will practice them together in camp at 10:45 in 7 minutes, whatever time zone you're in 6 minutes. We're going to hang up here in 1 minute. I hope today was at all fun. Was this sort of a good community vibe? It's a little all over the place. I am a little bit tired from my birthday, but I hope that was fun. If you have any questions about how to join camp, email right now. Don't wait. Email academy@elephantjournal.com. If you basically want to join camp, join any of the academy courses, and you'll be in there for free. The camp is the weekly meeting for all academy alumni and present academy students ever. The Elephant Camp the link is simply elephantjournal.com/academy, and the link to join the camp will be in the email you get if you've joined the academy. If you don't know where that email is, search Elephant Academy in your junk folder, in your trash folder, or email academy@elephantjournal.com. Am I explaining all that correctly, Lindsay, Emily, Molly? Am I doing okay? Like for people like Catherine, academy@elephantjournal.com. Okay, great. So I'll leave you with a final plug. You should leave now. If you want to join the camp, leave now and make sure you find that link. Email academy@elephantjournal.com, or if you haven't ever registered, go to elephantjournal.com/academy. If you want to hang here for one more second with me, I want to give you a silly blog. Great conversation, great sense of community, and great sense of service. Thank you, Michelle. I'm so glad you're here. We really only do it because if you guys come, and we will stop the second people stop coming. We've been doing them for a couple months now. I want to share one final blog, which is very silly, but also kind of crazy, which is that apparently, so all my life I thought I was a Cancer, all your life you thought you were a whatever. According to NASA, your star sign, the sign that you are, has changed. And oops, did I put in the wrong link? Yep, I didn't get the whole. Can you put in that star sign thing? Maybe I can find it. It's crazy. Here it is. So I don't really care about astrology, but I do think this kind of thing this blog is pretty fun. There it is. So that's that. And then finally, I want to end with a plug, which is if you are inspired to subscribe, even 5 subscriptions, even 3 subscriptions would make our day. If you already subscribe, a gift subscription to a loved one is easy. I'll put that link in. I don't know if everyone already left, but if you can click that gift subscription link and get a gift subscription for someone. If you say you subscribe in the comments, I will give you huge love right now. I'm in Crowdcast, not in Facebook. So Facebook people, huge love from afar. Even 5 subscriptions, even 3 would help make our day. We get about 40 on a good day. So if even 1 or 2 of you are inspired, when you subscribe, you get all the articles you want to read at any time, not just 3 in a day. Rachel, you just had your best friend forever subscribe. Thank you so much. And they're $3 a month. We use that money. Elephant is not getting rich. I always say if we don't have any investors, we're not selling out. We are doing this for the mission. We're paying all the money we have to our writers. We want to pay many more writers, but right now we pay our top writers who are chosen by readers. And then we pay our editors, we pay our staff, and I'd love to pay them more. We gave a raise to Kate one week when a bunch of you subscribed. Thank you, Leslie, so much for subscribing. So if anyone is inspired, Elephant for Life, Alex, yeah, you can do a lifetime subscription and save a lot of money. It's $108 forever. But if anyone new is willing to subscribe, that would be huge, right? It would be a good birthday present. It's $3 a month, $36 for the year, elephantjournal.com/subscribe. And so we use all that money for writers and staff and the platform. And then when you subscribe, you see way fewer ads because a lot of the ads just help us pay for Elephant to exist for people who aren't subscribing, who are reading for free. So if you're willing to subscribe, then those ads go away because you're no longer reading for free. You're reading for $3 a month. And you're helping us do hopefully good work for the whole world. So I'm not seeing any comments, which means people are gone. People already subscribed, which is quite likely in this gathering. But if I can even get one, that would make my day. So I'll leave one awkward moment. It's my birthday. I'll subscribe if I want to. Kristen's still here. Renee. All right, we're still here. Okay. Well, let's end with a bow. Thank you so much, everybody. And if you are inspired to subscribe and you don't, Margot. We got one. Thank you, Margot. Margot Sudam. Gifting one. So we got two. Thank you. If you actually really do it, Diane just did it. All right, that may be three. If you actually really do it, that'll be three. And for a community where most people have already done it, the gathering, that's huge. You can always get a gift subscription for another friend. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you in camp. And we'll do the 4 reminders. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, we got 4K. Thank you. Oh, that's like 10% of our entire day if you guys actually do it. It's huge. Yeah, Gail, if you want to gift subscribe, the link is up there. I think I put it in. Yeah, there it is. And no huge pressure, even though it feels like pressure. It's really just if it's something fun for you and your loved one, and it makes a huge difference. I had to put those little dots at the end because Crowdcast won't let me send the same thing twice. All right, Precious, you made my day. Thank you. We'll see you in camp.